8 degrees. But yeah, you don't want to see that on a May 7th day, but sometimes, snow sticks around until the 13th, 14th, 15th. I've seen the snow as late as the 15th here in the Upper Peninsula. So yes, the snow will not be sticking around, but also not a way you want to start your morning. So get your morning started off right, get caffeinated, get some coffee, and get yourself down here to Gallery Coffee Company. Now, some of the things that people ask me is, hey, can we watch the show from Gallery Coffee Company? Absolutely. If you want to come down here, watch the show, we do have a couple of seats. I know the guests get put in the bullpen and they get ready for the show. But yes, we have tables, we got chairs. You want to get some food, we got the food, we got the coffee. Just come down here. And it's a special weekend because, we have Mother's Day weekend. Gonna go see my mom next week. I will talk about that in just a minute. But I will be going to see my mom next week, so there will be no radio bingo next week. I'll get more into that in just a second. So you got Mother's Day weekend. It's supposed to be in mid-40s, supposed to be sunny, none of this snow, rain stuff. So get outside, enjoy the weather. We'll talk about Mother's Day things. Like one of Liz Weiner is going to be joining me from the MSU Extension 4-H. They just passed their millage. Her mom doesn't live here, so we'll talk about what she does for Mother's Day in honor of her mother. If she does anything, I don't know, but she doesn't live around here. So I do know there are some funny stories when each person goes to the airport. I'll let her explain that because this is just Liz and I being friends so I can see things on Facebook. So if you want to join us, you can go to the WQXO Munising page, get involved with the conversation that we have there. We'll try to get you on the screen. And I know Amber Perry said yesterday, oh, it's so cool. They put the comments up on the screen. Yes, it's actually a lot of fun. Executive producer Bryce Burge does a great job doing this show and in the scenes. And you haven't seen him in the backdrop all that long or all that often here the last time. The last few weeks because he's been doing all the graphic things, which are super cool. I do want to say happy birthday to my neighbor and former Munising softball coach, Jim Maxon, celebrating a birthday today. Also, Jason Boucher from Menominee with a birthday today. We used to call Jason's games when he was playing for the Grand Rapids Flight, when he was playing down with Grand Valley State, and then he played with his teammate Duke Cleveland, who was also from Grand Valley State. He used to play in the International Basketball League, but he is from Menominee. He is celebrating a birthday today. Saturday birthdays include Leslie Johnson, Brent Hill, and the one and only Sheriff Todd Brock. Happy birthday to those people. Now, I did mention it is Mother's Day weekend. And I know how much Janine, who is now 30 years old, no looking back now after she had a birthday yesterday, it's a perfect time to get your mom some flowers, some Sakeley's candy, maybe a hanging basket. Munising Flower Shop is open. And, it's one of those things where, guys, I know we kind of wait to the last minute, but it'd probably be a good idea to go Munising Flower Shop. Get your mom some flowers, some candy, maybe like, I don't know, hanging basket, something like that. They were rocking yesterday when I went in there. But yes, they are doing a great job. And I do want to mention this. It is Leslie's birthday on Saturday. The Munising Garden Center will also be open. I know there is a little bit of a delay on shipment and trees when I was reading the Facebook post yesterday, but the Munising Garden Center is also open. So make sure that you go and visit them. They are in that Circle Drive on Industrial Way, but Leslie can hook you up with some flowers as well. Make your garden look beautiful for Mother's Day, or, what most people do when they start planting gardens, especially around these parts. Maybe Memorial Weekend, but you can go get ready and go get some things set for the Munising Flower Shop and the Munising Garden Center. Amber Perry, good morning. My wife wants to know if I remember that she's a mother. Yes. Yes. I was going to be put in the doghouse because with being the baseball coach, I decided we were going to practice on Mother's Day because all of the moms there also forgot it was Mother's Day on the 9th. So we had to move our practice till tomorrow because I didn't want to be in that doghouse for Mother's Day weekend. But yes, Mother's Day is on Sunday. Guys, get out there, spoil your wife, or, maybe do the dishes, cook her lunch, take her out. Go have some fun with the woman in your life or your mom. Make sure that she is not forgotten this weekend. Now, with that being said, what are some of the things that people do to celebrate their mothers on Mother's Day? Like, I did my mom a big favor 14 years ago when I moved away. That way she didn't have to see me all that often. And so when she gets to see me, it's great for her. I'm special now in her eyes because she doesn't get to see me as much. So I did my mom a great service moving away 14 years ago. So every time we see each other, it's now special. Like Shauna Paulson's here from the Gallery Coffee. You have anything special for Mother's Day this weekend? You do anything? All right, so they're going to go get some breakfast with her and her kids for Mother's Day. Or maybe it's some of those moms of, hey, husbands or boyfriends, go take the kids. Get them out of my hair. Let me be. Let me have some peace. Let me have my own thoughts. Let me sit in a bath. What are some of the things that you would like as a mother, and what are some of the things that our guy friends have planned for this weekend besides, oh, yes, Sheila, that is a great point. I will get to that as well. Because right now, with the beautiful weather that we're having in beautiful downtown Munising, Gallery Coffee Company is going to be open on Sunday. Shauna is not required to work because it is Mother's Day, but they're going to be open from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. So if you want to get your mom a cup of coffee, maybe get some breakfast bites, the French toast that we offer down here. Also, A Burger has a great breakfast. I promise you no one's going to bat an eye if you want to get A Burger breakfast and then come get coffee here at Gallery Coffee Company. But what are some of the things that you have planned for that lady in your life? Amber Perry wants to know if her husband, Neil Perry, is listening to the advice that I'm giving out free of charge today. Like my wife has this little motorcycle type thing. It's a Honda that she's been riding around in. Maybe I just let her go at it a couple hours, or, let her get away from the kids for a couple of hours, maybe just the mom time so she can reevaluate things and actually, I don't know, maybe get peace with herself for a few. But yes, Eve Price says, yes, open on Sundays. That is great news. My wife said, at least you've already had your appendix out. I can't pull that stunt again this year. That was 2 years ago. Can't really do anything about that. When the appendix is going to go, it's going to go. So you got to absolutely look at that. What else we got on here? That's it so far. If you want to get involved, WQXO Munising on the Facebook page. Now, we do have a great show for you. Liz Weiner is going to be here. Officer Brendan Westenberger is going to be joining us, and he is with the Munising City Police Department. And what he's been doing has been absolutely fantastic in this community. And I say that because you can find him a lot of days right around 3 o'clock when Mather Elementary School is getting off school for the day, playing with the children in this community. And with so much bad press that takes place with our fine police officers, this is something that has been absolutely fantastic, getting involved with the kids and the community and making sure that they are noticed and, they're behaving and they're getting to know the police officers. So we'll talk to Officer Westenberger about that in just a little bit. Liz Weiner coming off a fresh proposal from Tuesday's voting will join us from the Michigan State 4-H, and we'll talk about what is supposedly going to happen. Obviously, anything can change at any given time, but getting back and maybe doing some programs here shortly for our youth. I know that with the 4-H, and a lot of people just think, oh, the horses, things like that. It's so much more than that, because they do the cooking. I know my boy gets involved with the meetings. At least they did last year when they were doing the Zoom meetings, things like that. I think it's very important for the kids to be involved with 4-H. We'll talk to Liz about that and the proposal that passed overwhelmingly here in Alger County. And I'm not going to get too much into the politics, but we offer different things here in Alger County than what they value in Marquette County, as Marquette County not really doing the 4-H stuff anymore. All right, let's get here. Jenna Cole says, we like to grill out with our whole family, maybe visit. Hang on, it says maybe some VSI fish on the grill. Teresa Coda says he is awesome. And then that's referring to Officer Westenberger. And then Eve Price says, Brendan drove by our home on Alger Heights the other day and lit up the lights. The kids thought it was the coolest thing. Way to go, Brendan. So we'll have him on in just a little bit. We are going to take this quick timeout. I know Bryce is up in the studio. When we come back, we will have Officer Brendan Westenberger, and we'll talk about his background in the Munising PD. But you are listening to Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, online at WQXO.com, and on the Facebook stream at WQXO Munising. We'll be back right after this.
Alger County Communities That Care is a local organization that offers preventative programming addressing teen pregnancy, violence, delinquency, school dropout, substance abuse, depression, and suicide. We are looking for members in our community to help with many of these programs and fundraisers we offer. If you would like to get involved, please contact us at algerctc.org. Alger County United and Thriving, promoting a safe, healthy, and prosperous environment for all youth and adults.
Hey guys, looking to get the moms in your life that perfect Mother's Day gift? Let the ladies at the Munising Flower Shop do the shopping for you. With a beautifully designed arrangement, let that special lady know just how much she means to you. They carry a variety of gifts, including Sakeley's chocolates and flowering plants. The Munising Flower Shop has just what you're looking for. Be the hero this Mother's Day by calling the Munising Flower Shop, 387-3499. That's the Munising Flower Shop, 387-3499.
Putvin's Health Mart welcomes you. Your hometown pharmacy is always here for you. Customer service comes first in all we do. You're gonna find that we love serving you at Putvin's Health Mart. Service is still our best medicine.
Putvin Health Mart has been a trusted source to handle your prescriptions for over 80 years. They're always ready to help in a personal way with their experienced and well-trained pharmacy staff. Family-owned and operated. Just people serving people. 119 Elm Avenue in beautiful downtown Munising, with convenient parking at the front or rear entrance.
At Putvin's Health Mart, service is still our best medicine.
Spring is here, and that means it's grilling season. Is your propane tank ready for grilling steaks, burgers, and vegetables? If not, call Superior Land Gas, because they've been trusted for over 100 years, and this is what they do. Superior Land Gas provides propane for appliances, from your outdoor grill to a 1,000-gallon commercial tank. They have the resources and training for heating your home or office. Call Superior Land Gas in Wetmore to switch or get filled up today at 387-4660. At 387-4660.
Back here on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. We are live from Gallery Coffee Company here in beautiful downtown Munising, as we are going to welcome in Officer Brendan Westenberger to the show. And before we get into him real quick, I will like to challenge him, and I did throw an invite out to him, to the Miners Falls Mini Golf Open that takes place on May 22nd of this month. We're going to do, it's the inaugural Mini Golf Open, but the first 200 people do get a commemorative medal. And then the first, second, we have three divisions. So three divisions will get a first place trophy. I will challenge him to that, to participate. If you want to play, it is $10 a person. And then the age groups are 8 to 11, 12 to 15, and 16 and older. If you're an 8-year-old, you cannot identify yourself as a 22-year-old. You are 8. but it doesn't matter if you're male, female. If you're between the ages of 8 and 11, you can play. 12 and 15 you can play, and 16 to whenever you want to be older, you can play. So I will challenge him to that. But I love what Officer Brendan Westenberger is doing, because I have a kid that's at Mather Elementary School right now, and he asked last week, he goes, can I go to the playground and play? Because he knew you were going to be there. First, welcome to Munising. I know you've been here for a little bit, and welcome to Coffee with Casey. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. I thank you so much, because you're up early. Yesterday when I talked to you, you started your shift at 3 o'clock. When did your shift end? 11?
Yeah, it actually ended at 3 a.m.
Oh, wow. They're really working you this.
Yeah. So trust me, when I said this coffee is appreciated, it was very appreciated.
We are at Gallery Coffee Company. We are open till 2 o'clock today, tomorrow, and 8 to 2 on Sunday, with the new hours starting Monday. But let's talk about this. I mean, you aren't from here. You went to and graduated from Gaylord High School. So let's talk about you getting into, I guess, I know you're in the Army.
Yes, sir.
We'll start with that. But when you're growing up, you're going to Gaylord. I guess, how often did you come to the Upper Peninsula? Did you ever stop in this area? Did you go to Marquette? How often did you visit above the bridge?
So you got to go back way to the beginning, 23 years ago. I was born in Sault Ste. Marie when my parents were going to college at Lake Superior State University. Okay. I was born there, already started my ties in the UP. So then you fast forward to high school, I ran cross country. And my freshman year, we did our cross country camp in Munising. We did the Chapel Loop and stayed out at the tourist campground just outside town past the Holiday Inn. And I absolutely fell in love with this place. I couldn't find a happier place on earth that I'd rather be. So
technically you're a Youper.
Correct.
So how did you get to Gaylord?
So my parents, about 6 months after I was born, they moved down to Traverse City for a little bit. And then that was like 2 years. And then my dad got a job in Gaylord, and the rest is kind of history. My parents are still there today. So, well,
and I'm from Grand Rapids, and I moved up here, and my parents told me I came here as a kid. I don't believe it. Like, I remember going to Mackinac Island, but I don't remember going to like Manistee or even Marquette, anything like that. I know that they spent their first anniversary up here, and my mom got sick because she gets motion sickness out on the boats, and I'm never going back. Well, a lot of things change in like 40 years when they came back when I moved up here. But I never crossed the bridge until I actually got a job in Marquette. Like I said, I remember going to Mackinac Island plenty of times. Just I never came to the Upper Peninsula. I love this place. The only thing that I don't like is, clearly I'm a Lions fan. I don't get to go to Ford Field that often.
Fair enough.
So the only time I get to go see my Lions play is at Lambeau Field. And when Lambeau Field is the home of the Detroit Lions, I say it's Ford Field West, because that's me going to Ford Field because it's at Ford Field West. Now, I know that upsets a lot of Packer fans. I don't care. It's Ford Field West when the Lions play there, because most of the time it's the same result anyway. It's going to be a loss.
Mm-hmm. What I tell most people is, what does your driver's license say? Does it say Michigan or Wisconsin? Because you need to make up your mind.
So you're a Lions fan.
I am. Unfortunately, it's a very abusive relationship, trust me.
Is that how you got into the police? Because you're used to the brutality from the public?
I guess that's one way to look at
it. Officer Brendan Westenberger joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, also on WQXO Munising and on WQXO.com. All right, so you're running cross country, and then you're graduating high school. Did you know right away you want to go to the Army? Did you go to college at all first? I guess, how do you go from graduation to the Army?
So it actually, one of my friends went and talked to a recruiter my freshman year of college. I had no interest in that point in my life. And my friend was like, hey, I went and talked to this recruiter. He seems pretty legit. You should go check him out. And I'm like, well, I mean, I got nothing to lose. What's a conversation with him? So I sat down with him and I talked to him, and he laid out the benefits for me of what doing the weekend a month and then 2 weeks in the summer with the National Guard would do for me. And I was looking at it, and it kind of, struck me. It's like, well, what's setting me apart from everybody else in college that's getting a law enforcement degree? Well, why am I any different than any of them besides I have a different name? And so that's what really challenged me. I'm like, well, one, it's going to pay for my college. And then two, it'll actually put me apart from all the other applicants that are going into law enforcement as well.
Now, one of our friends on the show, his name's Eddie McGuire, and he is one of the recruiters up in Negaunee. Is that where you met your recruiter? Were you meeting downstate recruiters? I guess I don't know the area of where they go, because I know Negaunee is a great National Guard spot, but I don't know where the other National Guards are.
My recruiter was in Sault Ste. Marie. His name's Brian Bizdaw. He's now actually in Escanaba. So
okay, and I know they travel around a little bit, and they get to see. What are some of the coolest things you got to do while being in the National Guard?
Blowing stuff up for sure.
Where are some of the places you got to blow stuff up at?
Let's see. I've gone to Minnesota so far. I was actually part of the DC activation back in January, and then I've also went to basic training in Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri.
Okay.
That was hot and miserable. Don't go back. I don't recommend it to anybody.
All right, so you're in the National Guard. I guess are you still enlisted? You're in the reserves now?
Yep, I've been in the reserves the whole time. Besides when I went to basic training, I've been in the reserves ever since with the National Guard, and I have about a year and a half left on my contract.
How did you transform from being a reserve, and how did you use that into becoming a police officer?
So the Army definitely helped me mature. I mean, I was a goofy kid, still am a goofy kid, don't get me wrong, but it helped me see a more mature side of myself, and it helped me grow into myself a little bit, and helped me learn the yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, all that routine polite stuff that you should have, especially in this kind of job. And from there, I just kept going to college to get into law enforcement. I eventually got a job through the Otsego County Sheriff's Office while I was in college, just doing civil service type stuff, serving subpoenas and doing evictions, just doing the extra work for them that didn't require a law enforcement license yet.
I have some comments for you on the Facebook page. You might know this person. Her name's Betty. It says, my Mother's Day gift from Brennan will be a bit late this year. I'm getting a beautiful daughter-in-law next weekend.
Correct.
I understand that's why you can't play in sorry. I should have preferenced that. I knew that you were getting married on May 22nd. That's why I also knew you couldn't play in this golf tournament.
Well, to be fair,
You can.
I get married on May 15th. We're getting back from our honeymoon on May 22nd.
Okay.
So.
I did some Facebook stalking of you.
I do the same thing, as you should.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't know. And this is my first time meeting Officer Brennan Westenberger here. It says, Deanna says, I'm his fiance. It's Westenberger, not, hang on. Westenberger, not Berger.
I hear so many different variations. They all just sound the same to me at this point.
You feel free to yell at me. I honestly,
I yell at people every day. I don't want to do it now.
Let's see here. Rounding notes. Can't wait for the golf. Good morning from Deborah Ann. All right. Deborah Ann says, you'll always be a goofy kid and very respectful to everyone. So, all right. You're in the National Guard. You're coming out of the National Guard and you're looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
How many places are you applying for? How did you come up with the city of Munising? I know you're probably throwing applications and things like that everywhere. I guess talk about your time in finding a job and becoming a police officer in a city or, a sheriff's department kind of deal.
So at the point where I was at in the academy, law enforcement at this point is already not in the greatest light. And there's jobs galore. 15 years ago, you couldn't get a job. A position at the city of Sault Ste. Marie, one position, you'd have 200 applicants.
And you're waiting for people to retire.
Exactly. And now we're at the point where you have this huge age gap. You have people like me getting into law enforcement. You have a gap, and then you have people retiring, and you can't fill the spots. So when I say that there's jobs all over the state right now, you could literally throw a dart at a map and be like, and find a job there. So I'm throwing applications all over. I want to stay in the UP, but I got to get my license activated, got to get a job. And eventually, about, I think, a month before I graduate from the academy, I'm sitting in the morning before we start. I'm sitting in my our break room on my phone looking at job postings on MCOLS, and I run across Munising with a full-time position. And ever since I got into college, Munising became my happy spot. Like, until I met Deanna and proposed to her and everything, I'd never even taken a female here before because I didn't want any bad memories here. This was only for the boys.
Oh,
so when I say this place is special to me, it is very special. So when I saw that posting, I'm like, well, duh, that's a no-brainer. I applied. I I get to lunch and I check my phone again and I have an email from the chief. He's like, "You want to do an interview?" And I'm like, yeah. So
Yes.
meet the chief literally that Friday. I get into the office and he's like, "Hey," just one of the first things he says to me is like, "Hey, just so you know, this isn't an interview." And I'm just like, "So why am I here? What is this?" And
Right.
it was very unorthodox. And honestly, it was the best interview I've ever had. We just drove around the city and I met all the important people, the sheriff, the prosecutor, correctional officers.
I'll yell at Officer Nelson right now. You didn't meet all the important people.
Well,
I mean,
to be fair, yeah.
and
Some of the important people.
I love Officer Nelson. He's a really good egg. So I do appreciate him and what he does for our community. And he does stop here frequently to get the coffee. I know you don't know this, so I'll tell you. If you come into the Gallery Coffee Company, you're in uniform, you get free coffee.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So that goes for any police officer, whether you're with the Sheriff's Department or the city of Munising. But all right, you are now getting paid on Fridays and you've been playing with the kids. How did all of this come up? Because and before you answer that, you talked about the negative surroundings around the Blue right now. And I have family members that are police officers and I respect everything they do. But there is a negative attitude. And I feel like the word quote unquote cop is a dirty word. Am I fair when I say that? I mean, I say police officer because I think that I don't want to say it's a gentle word, but I think it's better than cop. Mm-hmm. I think cop sounds dirty. Are you hearing that? Do you feel that? I guess with everything that goes on the news, how do you feel about that word cop?
So for me personally, it doesn't bother me. I mean, at the end of the day, call me what you want. I have a job to do and you can't let that stuff bother you. But in a personal mind, in a personal, perspective of it, I don't like that word because it's exactly what you said. It's dirty and it has the negative slang with it. And they're probably, even when they don't say it in a derogatory meaning, like you hear kids all the time say cop and things like that, or po-po. But they don't mean anything mean by it, but where it's coming from and that it's not.
I forgot about that word. So I think back because I'm like a 90s hip hop kind of guy. And I always think back to like Tupac, po-po, because the po-po won't let me go. That's the first thing I think of when I hear the word po-po, but I haven't heard that word in forever. So thank you for bringing that back to my attention. So I love what you're doing because I think it's important for our police officers to be involved with the kids. And I want to make sure that they are not afraid of police officers, that the police officers are on our side, that the only way they're going to go after you is if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. So I guess talk about getting involved with the kids because it was just a small group, like 5-6 kids, and this thing has grown now. So why did you start doing this and getting involved with the elementary kids?
Well, it all starts from the beginning. I decided to be a cop when I was 5. Okay. Police officer. Even I do it.
Right?
I do it all the time too. I'm guilty. I decided to be a police officer when I was 5 years old. I was having my birthday party in the summer. Police officers got called on us because of a noise complaint, and they show up and they're just like, "Why are we here? This is a kid's birthday party." But I thought they were the coolest guys ever. They had the badge, the gun, the uniform, and I thought these guys were the coolest guys ever. I looked at them, and I'm like, I'm going to be one of you when I grow up.
That's awesome.
And it just stuck. So, fast forward 19 years later now at this point, and I'm realizing I have the ability to pass this forward, especially in the light that we are in right now. I want people to know that, just because of what you see on the news right now, that's not what police officers are. That's not what our intentions, and that's not why we got into this job in the first place. And I'm a firm believer that kids at their age right now, that if you're ever going to make a change in somebody's life, it's at that age.
You're absolutely right.
You can't beat a 22-year-old in the head going, nope, you can't do that, and expect them to change. You're going to do it when they're 5, 10 years old, and let them know that they're cared about and that they are loved and that they can be whatever they want to be.
Now, when I was growing up, the police officers were in our community, but not like what you were doing. Yeah, we had the DARE. We had the police officer that was at the high school. Cool guy. Always got along with him. But we had something. It was a day. It was called National Night Out. And that's where you can meet the police officers and kind of, they had like block parties, things like that. Did you ever experience that when you were growing up, or is that more of a downstate thing?
I never experienced that before. It sounds awesome. I love that, but
So I will challenge you. Look at National Night Out, because I want to say it's always around like August 5th, September 5th, somewhere along there. I want to say August 5th, because when you get into September, you start thinking about Labor Day. So that's why I really believe it's around August. But that's when I got to know the police officers, the firefighters, things like that, because we had National Night Out where you could go and meet people and go look at the police cars and the fire engines and things like that. And that's where I found a lot of respect for police officers. I also played in a lot of golf outings with police officers. And there's one in Gladstone or right around Gladstone that I always have a blast with, and you can like win a prize on like every hole, kind of, multiple prizes on every hole. So I think you guys are absolutely fantastic. I love what you're doing. And I love the fact that you're not afraid to tell a kid, no, go sit down, or, hey, don't be doing that. I'm assuming, and there's so many people that love that you're doing this and teaching the kids, but I guess your job is to also still be respectful. So if you're doing something wrong, you got to let the kids know that, hey, leave me alone, or, hey, don't be doing that. Mm-hmm. So I do want to get to some comments. Corey Anserly says he's been amazing for this area. Hang on. That's the problem. He's been so amazing for the area youth. My son loves him and has a good relationship with the police because of him. Sheila Bellinger says, can't say enough positive words about Brendan. Shannon Marie says, and he got thrown into the fire with his start on the July 4th. We'll talk about that. Jenna Cole says, on our walk home after the playground, my 6-year-old son said he wanted to be a police officer, maybe a seed planted, Brendan. So thank you. Bunny Janet Malone says, this officer is a great example to our youth and to our adults. Daisy says, Brendan is an amazing young man. So there's so many people. We have almost 40 people currently watching on Facebook right now, and they are praising you. And I think what you're doing is great, because they talked about planting a seed. You talked about growing up. You couldn't get with the state police. You couldn't find a city job. It's hard to become and stay in the area you want to be in. Do you think that's what you're doing right now? If you can get with these youth and really hit home, maybe they want to be a police officer and keep, I would say, the tradition of this town, or, hey, you can be in the city of Munising, or you can work for the Elder County Sheriff's Department. Is that what you're trying to do to make sure we still have enough police officers and good police officers?
I can't say that's my end goal, is being a recruiter for police. I mean, if these kids want to do policing because of what I'm doing, more power to it. And I think that's awesome. I tell the kids all the time, don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do what you want to do. I heard a kid the other day say that she doesn't think her dreams will ever come true. And it broke my heart, because I want these kids to know that if they want to go for the NBA, go for it. If they want to be a police officer or an astronaut, go for it, because they can do it. And if these kids want to be police officers and want to work in this area, I highly encourage them to do it, because we need more officers and we need good officers. And, whatever these kids decide to do when they grow up, whether it's policing or not, I want them to have the respect for each other, for kids, for adults, and to be good human beings that respect and love each other.
Officer Brendan Westenberger joins us right here on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. How has COVID changed what you do? Because obviously bars have changed. You couldn't go. Now there's like 11 o'clock curfew. There's more people staying home during the whole shutdown kind of deal. How has COVID changed you and what you do as a police officer?
Well, it certainly slowed crime rates down, which, I mean, I'm not complaining about. It makes my job easier. As far as everything else, though, I mean, I just got the vaccination, and so the CDC said that we don't have to wear masks outside now. So I finally started taking my mask off on a traffic stop, which is nice. It's a nice little relief. It's just one less thing to worry about. Other than that, though, I try not to let it change what's going on too much. I mean, like I said, the crime rate's down a little bit.
That's good.
I wear masks in businesses and inside buildings and everything like that. But other than that, I try not to let it really affect the job or what I've been doing.
Okay. Well, I know everyone's a little bit different, especially when you're running a place compared to being on the streets with you. When you're out there, I guess, what are some of the things that you look forward to as you continue to grow in this community?
Well, I just keep hoping that I can do different types of community policing, because what I'm doing right now with the kids, it's my favorite part of the job. There's nothing I could think of that I enjoy more or look more forward to when I start my shift. And my biggest hope is that we can continue to grow that and make it something more. When I looked at one of the posts a couple weeks ago about what I was doing, somebody recommended doing PAL, Police Athletic League. And so that's something I'm looking at doing right now. It a little bit broader spectrum. What I would love to do, and I'm kind of working on right now, is getting businesses together to sponsor first responders, being athletic coaches and academic mentors for kids, and giving them that light, not just police, but firefighters and EMS as well, that we can be coaches for them, to teach them respect for each other and to be, good adults when they grow up, and then help them with the academics as well, make sure that they're succeeding in school.
Brendan, thank you so much for joining me on Coffee with Casey this morning right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. I forgot to say we are also on YouTube now, so you can watch us on YouTube at WQXO.com and on the WQXO Munising Facebook page. Basically, if you're in Elgin County or around Elgin County, know anything about Elgin County, you can watch us and throughout the world on YouTube and at WQXO Munising on Facebook. And if you're in the city, on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO and at WQXO.com. Thank you so much. I know you worked at 12 last night. Enjoy your coffee. If you want, go get some breakfast, and we'll see you down the road, because I know I'll be seeing a lot of you in this community.
Well, I appreciate Casey. Thank you so much for having me.
We're going to take this time out. When we come back, we're going to talk to Liz Weiner from the Michigan State Extension, talk about 4-H. I know volunteers are huge in this area. We're going to need some to get some of these programs off and running. We'll take this quick time out. You are listening to Coffee with Casey on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, at WQXO.com, at WQXO Munising on Facebook, and on YouTube. We'll talk more about that right after this.
Timber Products Company, a leader in diversified wood product sales, manufacturing, and transportation, is now hiring primary day shift production laborers for their manufacturing facility in Munising, Michigan. They offer many opportunities for job growth and advancement in a comprehensive benefits package, including life insurance, health, dental, vision, and prescription coverage, vacation and holiday pay, flexible spending accounts, and a 401k plan with employer contributions. Timber Products Company is an equal opportunity employer, including protected veterans and people with disabilities. See all Timber Products Company opportunities on the Careers tab at timberproducts.com. Contact Rochelle Hanna at rhanna@timberproducts.com. That's rhanna@timberproducts.com.
Miners Falls Mini Golf will be open May 22nd with the Miners Falls Open. This miniature golf tournament will have 3 different age brackets: 8 to 11, 12 to 15, and 16 and older. There's a $10 entry fee for each player, and pre-registration is required by going to Hillside Party Store, downtown Munising, Hillside East on H58, or by logging on to Miners Falls Mini Golf on Facebook. It's Miners Falls Mini Golf Open May 22nd.
There's plenty of noise being made about the new A Chicken Sandwich down at A Burger. Hand-battered fried-to-order chicken breast is topped with a one-of-a-kind tangy Gluto sauce and sweet and spicy pickles. This delicious experience can be yours for just $9.29 at A Burger, located by the stoplight in downtown Munising. Try the new A Chicken Sandwich today.
Enjoy a great meal while taking in the beautiful scenery of Hovey Lake at the Buckhorn Resort. Located on Buckhorn Road in Munising, the Buckhorn Resort has over 10 burgers to choose from. Try their signature burger, the Buckhorn Burger, a bourbon-glazed third-pound Angus beef patty smothered in chunky blue cheese and bacon, served on a home-style sandwich roll. The Buckhorn Resort opens at 11 a.m. daily, or you can call 387-3559. All trails lead to the Buckhorn Resort. Buckhorn Resort.
On Coffee with Casey on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO on the WQXO Munising Facebook page and on YouTube. We'll get to that. I do need to talk about that because Liz is going to join us for a second time in 2 years. But it's a little bit different for her this time, just because of the fact that last time we did this, it was just on radio. You didn't get to see and all the people out there. Yes, they didn't get to see your smiling face. Now, we are on YouTube starting this week. Search for Coffee with Casey Munising to find the show both live and after the show. So that is on YouTube, Coffee with Casey. Additionally, next week we are going to be tape delayed, and we'll switch the show from the WQXO Facebook page to the Rome Media Facebook page shortly. So we'll try to keep you in contact with all that stuff as we move forward. But yes, lots of things are happening, as you can see and hear. There's lots of things going on here in downtown Munising at Gallery Coffee Company. First, Liz, welcome back to the show.
Thanks.
And big day for you, obviously, because Tuesday on Election Day, you guys overwhelmingly got support from Alger County. What does that mean to you and the 4-H program with the Michigan State Extension?
It's just an amazing kind of feeling to see that people support us and they want to keep us around in the county. Michigan State Extension has been in Alger County for over 100 years. This was our 4th millage. So we had our first one in the year 2000, and everyone has passed with this kind of margin, which is just an amazing testament to both the work that, my colleagues are doing and have been doing, and just that people in the community see our value and want to keep us around, which is just super cool.
And things have been super hard. And we talk about how things haven't really changed for Officer Brendan, but things have really changed for 4-H because you guys normally have programs. You guys normally meet at Mather Elementary School, and you have programs down there. And we were doing some Zoom stuff last year, but that stuff hasn't happened this year, like the face-to-face stuff because of COVID. I guess, what are you hearing as of this, I don't want to say taping, but as of this date, and then people going back and listening about the continuation of 4-H and getting to meet face-to-face, things like that?
Yeah, we are definitely making some really strong steps towards being able to be back in person. The Alger County Fair is a go for this year. It's going to be the last weekend in July. And plans are in place we're hoping within the month that face-to-face programming will be able to come back so that club meetings can start again. Kids can start meeting together to work with their animals. And just so we can get that social aspect back of 4-H. We've been doing a lot of really great, Zoom programs and take-home kits and things like that, but there definitely is something missing with that connection. And we have a great committee, that's headed up to kind of look at all of the different precautions and make sure that kids are staying safe when they come back to 4-H.
Jenna Cole says, my kids and I were just talking about our Zoom tea party with Liz during lockdown last year. She has done some great things with 4-H kids over the last year. So
Thanks,
obviously there's a lot of praise for 4-H. And I talked about this a little, and I'm not going to get political on this, but I did talk about this in the first 10, 15 minutes of the show, how 4-H is in Alger County, but it's not really in Marquette County because Marquette has pulled back the brakes. So what does that mean for 4-H continuing on in the Upper Peninsula in a place like Marquette where they're not really supporting it a whole heck of a lot?
Yeah, Marquette has a bit more of a special situation than we do. They're county funded, that because of COVID budget issues, they kind of pulled back a little bit of the funding this year. They have a grace year this year to kind of really show their value to bring it back. When the budget hearings were happening, a lot of 4-H youth came out to a lot of those Marquette County hearings, and so the support is there. The programming is there. The 4-H program is strong in Marquette County. It was just kind of a budget
Casualty.
They just had to make a choice somewhere. There's hopes for next year that, as some of this COVID relief money comes in and the budget can kind of be reallocated, that Marquette County does see the value. They just needed to make a cut somewhere. And so it's still strong. I know, it's Leanna Pepin is the 4-H person there, and she's doing amazing work. She's really been pushing hard to keep it going. Marquette Fair is going to be going this year. A lot of the Alger kids show in Marquette as well. So,
and it's more than just like horses and pigs and things like that. I mean, 4-H is very instrumental because we have talked about in the past, like cooking. Yep. And our daughter Elliot has done your cooking classes that were up at the extension building. So when you look to bring some of this back, I mean, who do you go for a cooking teacher? Are these volunteers? Do you do it? I mean, I know I'm not a cook, so I'm not volunteering to be a cook. Hey, throw it on the grill. Oh, good. So what do you do when you're looking to introduce classes and do cooking and things like that?
Yeah, it really kind of depends on the club, kind of what the kids are looking for. With COVID time, I've been doing a lot of the programming just because it's easier. Once we start to get back into in-person activities, volunteers they're the heart of 4-H programming. The cooking program, I know that the leaders of that one just stepped down. So if there's anyone watching who loves to cook and is interested in taking over a very successful 4-H cooking club, please reach out to me.
And the 4-H cooking, and I want to point this out, has been really popular because you were offering 2 classes, like one at 6 and one at like 7:30 kind of deal.
Yep.
Is that one of your most popular ones?
It definitely was really popular. We split it up just because we wanted all of the kids to be able to have a chance to actually cook. Last year, they practiced cooking around the world. And so we were able to have Anna Delaski come in and teach them, some Macedonian cuisine. She did the 4-H pledge in Macedonian, which we put her on the spot because she didn't actually know it. But it worked. And, they cooked food from all over the world, learned about the different cultures. We did kind of model that with a take-home kit where kids got food from around the world delivered to their home each week, and they got to practice making it. And so that one's really popular. We have really popular crafts and community service clubs where they get together and, do mirror etching and quilting, sewing.
And you guys did robotics too, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
We did Lego League Robotics, which is looking to make a comeback as well, probably next year once the school year starts. That was a really popular one. And the kids did amazing in their first competition. They placed 3rd, having never actually been to a competition before out of 12 teams, which was really impressive.
So that is my point right now. I mean, 4-H is super important to this community. A lot of people join it. I guess when you are the director of 4-H here at the Extension, what are you looking for and how hard is it to get volunteers? Because I know you're always looking for volunteers. That's what makes this thing go is volunteers.
It's sometimes a challenge. I had to kind of think about that but what people don't realize is that volunteering for it is you can volunteer and teach whatever subject you really want. If you're really passionate about, picking flowers and drying them, that could be a 4-H club. If you're passionate about yoga, that could be a 4-H club. We did a spa and relaxation club where we made our own lotions and body butters and did hand massages. And it was the best because I got to show up and get lotions and hand massages. And if you have a passion and want to try teaching it, then 4-H has an opportunity for you. And that's what's really cool.
Eve Price wants to know, how old do the kids have to be to attend 4-H?
Great question. You can join 4-H as soon as you turn 5. And so, and all the way up until age 19. So
what are some of the challenges that you face when the kids get older and obviously sports come into play or, they have to go do whatever after school? What are some of the challenges you see as the kids get older? Because Sully, once again, was in there when he was 5-6 years old with 4-H, and now he's got like baseball practice and things like that. So what are the challenges that you face keeping kids involved?
Yeah, it's definitely, we come up against a lot of challenges with sports, especially in a small school where every kid plays every sport.
Or multiple sports.
In the same season. Once they get, 14, 15 years old, jobs, are really a big thing, like trying to balance work schedules. But one of the really cool things with 4-H is that as they get older, the leadership opportunities get bigger. And so there's more opportunities to both run their own club meetings and kind of take it in the direction that they want, as well as opportunities to travel in normal, quote unquote, normal years.
Do we even know what normal is anymore?
I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Friday because I'm here.
Right.
But, in normal years, we travel every year to East Lansing to go to Michigan State for 3 days where kids get to practice what it's like to go to college. We have kids travel to Washington, D.C. for a week to learn about, citizenship, leadership. We've had kids go to Atlanta, Georgia to go to, it's basically one of the nation's biggest leadership conferences. And the opportunities are there as they get older. We've had multiple scholarship recipients, come out of 4-H in Alger County because of their participation in 4-H. We have one youth who she just finished her first year at Michigan State University, and she has a full ride for 4 years, room, board, tuition, everything that she got because of her participation in 4-H.
If you have a question, you can email us or leave a comment at WQXO Munising on the Facebook page. Amber Perry says, not sure if I missed this, but how often does 4-H meet?
Great question. It depends on the club you're joining. So we have some clubs that meet once a week for 6 to 8 weeks, and those are called spin clubs. And then we have other clubs that are called community clubs. There's not going to be a test, I swear, that meet once a month for kind of the year. Sometimes the livestock clubs meet, only April to August. It really just kind of depends on the club and on kind of what the topic is. I know the cooking club they would do 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. And then, that was how they went through the year. So it really kind of depends on the club, what the leader wants and what the kids want.
Real quick, I know Mother's Day is this weekend. Your mom does not live in this area. So what do you do special for your mom for Mother's Day?
Call her. I don't really do much special.
I know you guys show up.
Our special is reserved for in person. You can't really dress up in a ridiculous costume.
Zoom.
I mean, I could. Zoom has a lot of fun filters now. But yeah, we do have our tradition of greeting each other at airports in ridiculous costumes. It all started back when I was still in grad school and flying home, and she would show up dressed like an elf and try to embarrass me. And then 2 years ago, I finally was like, she doesn't have to be the only one dressing up. And so I was able to dress up like a dinosaur. And that was all that was in my carry-on bag was a giant dinosaur head. I had to put all my other stuff in Rob's bag. And I definitely won that year. And then last year, because I got to pick her up because she actually came here for the first year, my costume was able to get even better. So I was able to get a giant inflatable costume of an elf riding a reindeer. And she was not prepared. And it was wonderful.
We're going to take this time out. If you want to get in 4-H, what's the number to call?
You can call 906-387-2530, extension 4. Leave a message, and then I will call you back because I'm not in the office every day. So.
All right. We'll take our final timeout, come back with more Coffee with Casey right after this. You're watching Coffee with Casey on WQXO Munising, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, WQXO.com, and on YouTube. We'll be back right after this.
When it's time for you to tackle a home project, you go to 41 Lumber because 41 Lumber has the best products so your projects will last. Every kind of home project, you name it, 41 Lumber has it. And 41 Lumber has the experience to help you with any questions you have along the way. 41 Lumber even offers complete home and project design services. Your projects start at 41 Lumber with better products for better results. 41 Lumber, building your dreams one project at a time.
How would you like to start a new job at $21.87 an hour with benefits from day one, including 401k match and pension? You need to check out Neenah. Neenah, a paper-making company with a proud heritage of over 100 years in business. Are you ready to hit the ground running? $21.87 an hour for the first 90 days, benefits from day one, and a match 401k. Check out Neenah.com/careers and search for their hourly job openings in Munising.
As things slowly get back to normal in the Upper Peninsula, the employees at Embers Credit Union are here, ready to serve you. Our frontline staff is ready to safely handle cash and checks and answer questions you have about your account. Our loan team is ready to help out with new or existing loans in person, on the phone, or through email. Our commercial team is ready to assist you with your business loan and the payment protection program. We are always ready to take members to the next level. We're Embers Credit Union. Let's live it up.
Thinking about upgrading the bedroom carpet or the floor in your home? Now is the perfect time to get a quote from Flynn's Flooring in Wetmore. Flynn's Flooring is locally owned to give you the personal attention you deserve, from carpet to hardwood, or maybe even a vinyl or tile floor. Flynn's Flooring will sit down and go over options with you. So, what are you waiting for? Call and set up an appointment with Flynn's Flooring today at 387-1993.
This is the Alger General Agency Munising Minute, powered by Rome Media. In certain spots of Munising, orange flags are up in the right-of-ways, but it isn't for any utility work. The flags are there to mark where new trees will be planted as part of a grant from DTE Energy. Alger Conservation District Forester Matt Watkes explains.
Went all up and down every street in the city of Munising and inventoried each and every tree in the city's right-of-way. Part of that was to identify hazard trees, risk trees, and declining trees that need to be removed, but also to identify places where we could put some of these new trees that we are getting through the grant, and in a way to replace some of the trees that are being removed as well.
If you see an orange flag, leave it be for now, but Watkes said that a little extra water and time with the trees when planted will help with their success.
Sometimes homeowners will take responsibility for that tree in the first couple of years at least and do some extra watering for us and at least just monitoring the tree, providing feedback on if there's dead branches or if it didn't leaf out at all, or if there's some other damage maybe by a rodent or by someone hitting it inadvertently with a lawnmower.
But not all new plants are coming from the municipal governments and grants. The Conservation District will have their yearly plant sale pickup this weekend at Alger Centennial Ice Arena. Instead of youth hockey rosters taped to the glass, it's inventory and pickup sheets for trees, berry bushes, and more. According to Conservation District Executive Director Terry Grout, this year was very successful and will add to the overall environmental portfolio of the area.
Purpose is not just to raise funds, though. It's also to provide a source of native conservation and restoration species, the pines, the junipers, the maples, etc., that are endemic to this area, so that people have a good source for reliable native plants.
The Munising Minute is brought to you by Alger General Agency, independent insurance agents you can depend on. Providing big insurance options from a local business, check out our website at algergeneralinsuranceenagency.com or call us at 387-2018. For Rome Media, I'm Bryce Burge.
Back on Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Casey Ford finishing things off. I'd like to thank Bryce Burge, executive producer of Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Bryce Bowerman joining us this morning as we have all these cameras that are set up. Officer Brendan Westenberger for joining us, along with Liz Weiner from the Michigan State 4-H Extension. So thank you, everyone, for coming on and being part of Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. We are on YouTube now. Starting this week, search for Coffee with Casey Munising to find the show both live and after the fact. Also, we will be tape delayed next week here from Gallery Coffee Company as I am going downstate to go spend some time, some actual quality time with my mother. So we don't get to do it this Mother's Day, but I am leaving next week around Wednesday, Thursday, and we're going to spend a few days with my mom down in Grand Rapids. So next week's show will be taped right here from Gallery Coffee Company instead of being live, and then we'll return, which would be like the 21st or whatever that Friday is. So I'd like to thank everybody that continues to follow us right here on the WQXO Munising Facebook page, along with AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, and at WQXO.com and on YouTube. Other than that, have yourself a great Mother's Day. Remember, if it wasn't for your mom, you wouldn't be in this world. That is a fact. If it wasn't for your mother, you would not be here. So make sure that you treat her with the love and respect that she deserves. If you want to come down to Gallery Coffee Company, they are going to be open on Sunday from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. And then on Monday, they're going to be open starting at 7 a.m. So lots going on in and around Gallery Coffee Company. I'd like to thank everybody once again for stepping in and being part of this show. I'm Casey Ford. Thank you for watching Coffee with Casey on WQXO Munising, and then listening on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Have yourself a great weekend.